Hello and welcome. My name is Gary Coburn and I'm here with Extending Clouds back to have another discussion about custom email notifications. So if you recall, in our first edition back on April 28th, we went through the simple concept of creating your own HTML-based uh, email templates that can be utilized to communicate with the consumers of VRA using the event broker. One of those highly rated comments and sections that everybody has told me has been a great kind of educational service. So hopefully you saw the benefit of that, and you also recognized, as I highlighted, one of the major drawbacks. So if you'll recall, if you notice the comments, Steve Schofield, one of my followers, has been so kind to highlight one of the major downfalls of the event broker right now. And the challenge, as it were, is that the last stage that the event broker actually triggers is machine activated. And that's actually when it turns it over to the software components. So the real challenge that Steve highlighted is he and a number of other customers were trying to utilize custom notifications, but software components would run after that machine activated state. Well, if your provisioning of application components takes anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours, for example, then technically your consumer would be getting notification that their machine was done when in fact it was still waiting for software components to be delivered. So what we've done is some investigation and determined a way that can solve that problem. And I'm here to walk you through that and provide you with the workflows that can help you kind of quickly come up to speed on how to do that. So hope you'll enjoy. I'll also highlight that on May 18th, I did post an event broker subscription installation workflow. It's one of those pieces that will be used here today. I'll highlight real quickly as we go through uh, basically what each workflow does and then the value that it provides when you go about that. So without further ado, let's jump right into the VRO console. So as a brief introduction, we'll walk you through the different components here. Same general layout as we've had in the past, VRA or VMware folder, SDE folder. We've got our common folder, which has the installers that I'm taking advantage of. And then I've got my vRealize automation, custom notifications, and the installer workflows in here. One of the important things that is of note is that I've actually altered some things so that you don't have to edit the SMTP of the workflow itself. I've got a configuration setting, if you will, that basically goes through and creates a configuration element and updates it with all of your components when you actually run that. So you could, in theory, first run this and then go through and run the state transitions and post approvals installation components, and these will just go out and add or update lifecycle and add or update the post event subscription. These are all coming from this particular workflow and this one. So all I've done is really hard code some of these settings for you that may be valuable. So likely the first time you're going to run this, you're going to want to go ahead and run the post approvals workflow. So first and foremost, we do want a custom notification to write the file. And then we want the post approval to read the file. We want to set our SMTP host up. This again is what will set your configuration elements so that they have all the proper settings. Do you want to use SSL or TLS? All pretty standard settings. We'll go ahead and submit that. And what that has literally done for us is first, it ran the configuration settings, which set up all our custom notification properties. Second, it added a life cycle event or subscription at requested pre. And finally, it created an approval workflow that will read. So it associated the right profile, and what this is doing is executing a collect all of the payload properties, write your HTML configuration. This is what you would edit if you wanted to change any of the different pieces and parts that came to you. It opens a temporary directory, writes the cafe request ID.html to the actual server, and then closes the file. So it writes all of the content into the file. Now, after all your workflows run and all the installation works, you'll then execute the read file, approve, and send an email. So this is the same concept, pulls in the payload for approval processes, executes all of the information to read the file, updates, and sends the notification to the consumer. So the installation provided us with the following workflows, or event subscriptions rather, to the event broker. So again, we've got our write file, which is requested pre. Conditions are requested pre, and if it is in fact containing the software agent.service.url, which is basically identifier for anything that contains software components on it. And it's assigned to our write file. Next, you'll notice the post approval. This is all set to run against all events, and what we have to do now is set the entitlement up so that this is actually consumed. We do that in the approval policies. So we'll create a new approval policy for the catalog item request. We're going to set it simple name of software, and we want it to be a post approval. We use the event subscription. You notice it's always required. This is all important details because what we're actually going to do is associate it only to the software components for the entitlements. So if you look right now, it's active, it's available, but it's not assigned to any actual entitlements yet. We do that by going to the catalog management, entitlements, we'll do our cloud admins, we'll set up items and approvals, and all of our application services will actually define that software component. Now with that, we'll jump into our catalog. We'll go to our application services. You'll see we've got 3 defined, ready to go. We'll request the Nginx, submit. We'll also jump into VRO and we will look at this as it triggers the right file. As you can see, we've written the file. Goes line by line, creates the content, writes the file. If we log into our VRA server and go to var lib vco app-server temp, you'll notice that we've got the IDs.html. So this is actually executing the write file, and now we will wait for VRA to complete the provisioning, and we'll read the file and delete it. So if we go to our requests, We look at the settings, and now we just wait for the provisioning to complete. As you can see, we've completed the software deployment. And now are executing the read file, approve, and send the email. As you can see, that completed successfully. We can go back and look, and our HTML file is gone. And if we refresh our inbox, you'll see that our request was completed by the no reply request admin. And the content that we wanted to display is in there. So pretty simple that you could take advantage of really quickly, plug it in, and actually offer custom notifications on post software deployment. So hope this was as beneficial as the first one, and look forward to your comments and feedback. Thanks very much. I'll talk to you soon.